Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Halayim, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, peace and salutations to the hopeful elect and to the confusion of faces that look like these heathen nations, but their identity goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the royal holy chosen seed line. Shalom. Alright, so basically I would like to give off this lesson and talk about Jacob's trouble and how is it all going to turn out. And even in the Old Testament, this time Jacob's trouble is not going to be like how it was in the ancient world, how these end times were in the ancient world. But because there were certain end times that there were certain like end time situations that happen in the Bible, but it's going to come back again, and this time it's going to come to a greater time like it never was before. But I'm gonna start off with this, and it says in Ezekiel 7. Let me start at verse 2. It's gonna be a long lesson. Also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord, thus saith Adonai Yahweh unto the land of Yasharahla, and end of the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now was the end up come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations, and mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Adonai. Thus saith Adonai Yahweh, and evil and only evil, behold, is come, and end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. The morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land. The time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. Now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense thee for all thine abominations. And mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways, and thine abominations that are in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Adonai that smiteth. So you see, the Most High is not really all about love. He's a balance. He kills too. Behold, it is come. The morning is gone forth. The rod hath blossomed. Pride hath budded. Violence is risen up into a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor any of theirs. Neither shall be wailing for them. The time is come, the day draweth near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. For the seller shall not return to that which is sold, although they were yet alive, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. They have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none goeth to battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. For the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. And basically, when you look into what a sword is basically an instrument of a weapon. So it could be pretty much any weapon. And when the Most High was talking, I remember sometimes like in the scriptures it would say like how the Most High will use his sword against, maybe certain like nations of people, as a judgment. That's talking about basically his destruction. Yeah. So, and the sword is actually used to like mutilate somebody, to use to like harm somebody, to destroy. Yeah. So that's what he mean by sword. All hands and shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silvers in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Adonai. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Yep, that's true. Yeah, I'm thinking that all this all this gold y'all got now, all this money y'all got, all this, luxury, all the food you have, is not gonna really save you in these end times. So, and the only people that's gonna actually be saved is actually the 1/3 of Israel. And if you think about it, the elites, they'll be, I mean, they're gonna only be, the only reason why they're gonna survive these end times because the Most High is gonna allow them to survive, just to be in the first fruits of slaves. But I will go on to that later on, but and make a video about that. And I will give, but let me finish. And I will give into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil. They shall pollute it. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place. For the robbers shall enter into it and defile it. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the strong to seize, and their holy places shall be defiled. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests, and counsel from the ancients. The king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation, and the hand of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way, according to their deserts. I will judge them, and they shall know that I am Adonai. Yep. So this is really deep. Most High is really getting ready to kill. Yep. And another thing you might see during Jacob's trouble is that you're gonna see those so-called UFOs, and this is how the UFOs look. I'll make a video explaining more scriptures on the UFOs, but it says, Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length of therefore it's 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as one side, according to it, and every one that swears shall be cut off as on that side, according to it. So yeah. So basically, this is talking about those so-called UFOs, like they're chariots of the Most High. And it says over here, this is where it goes deep into the judgment. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, and that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And that's talking about our people. That's talking about the 1/3 of our people. Matter of fact, like starting with the elect men and then the apostles, they complaining about this. That there was so much wickedness. We keep sending prayers to the Most High. We keep doing this work, pushing out this word because we're just tired of this bullshit that we're in. And it says, Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And that's talking about, this is spiritually Egypt in America. Yeah, and it's spiritually Sodom as well, for all the gay shit that goes on. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting, and hail with a fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction thereof nigh. And one people shall stand up against and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in course of their actions shall stand in their power. This is talking about like the purge. You see, like in the first purge, people fighting against each other, trying to kill each other, and that's what's going to happen. And then there's going to be military troops coming in trying to shoot people down and shit like that, and their main agenda is to pretty much come after the elites. They're pretty much trying to, there's an Illuminati New World Order plan that they're trying to wipe out. They're only trying to leave back 500 million people and trying to wipe out 7 billion the population or some shit like that. You know, so it's like this devil's sick. He thinking that he could control the world population. For because of their pride, the city. Oh wait, a man shall go shall desire to go to the city and shall not be able. Yeah, because there's gonna be some quarantine zones. There's gonna be some military blockades, and you can't trespass through it. Like they're gonna treat it like some areas, like it's Area 51. You know, yeah, and yeah, the Most High is gonna send evil spirits out to like some cities will be abandoned. There's already abandoned cities and abandoned streets. It's just gonna increase a lot more. But Lord, I don't want Ratazar if I'm the elect, and you're gonna like y'all might not be able to go to the cities and stuff like that, but our people will be able to go through it because he's gonna have a hedge and protection on our people. So yeah, for because of their pride, the city shall be destroyed, the houses shall be destroyed, and the houses shall, and city shall be troubled, Salakia. The house shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. It says, woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. And over here it says, my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not seize over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. And it says, this is the UFOs again. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south. They are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and the dung of men unto the camel's hoof. All right, the great and mighty cloud shall be puffed up full of wrath, and a star that make all of them, all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place and horrible star. Yep. All right. And this is where he goes on to. This is what the Most High says: I will send plagues upon in 49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is rent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so Yahweh do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountain shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. Yeah, it's going to be a water scarcity and a food scarcity. It's going to be a famine on bread and water. So yeah, y'all going to be eating at each other. You're going to be drinking your own blood and shit like that. The Bible's going deep into this. Thou as unhappy shalt come through the sea and receive plagues again. And in the passage they shall rush on the idol city, and shall destroy some portion of thy land, and consume part of thy glory, and shall return to Babylon that was destroyed. And thou shalt be cast down by them as stubble, and they shall be unto thee as fire, and shall consume thee and thy cities, thy land, and thy mountains, and all thy woods, thy fruitful trees, they shall be burned up with fire. Thy children shall they carry away captive, and look at what thou hast, they shall spoil it, and mar the beauty of thy face. Yep. And it says in 2nd Ezra 16, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is set upon you, and who may turn it back? And fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? And this is what Ezra is saying, because these times are going to be so terrible. They got, Most High got Ezra saying, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And Ezra is a faithful, like he's a prophet, so it's like prophets are like, They're like men of the Lord. They do his works and stuff like that. They do what he says. So you got a prophet saying that he's afraid of these end times. Like, that's no joke. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape their hunger shall the sword destroy. So even if you have food that's gonna, which is pretty rare that y'all have a certain certain amount of food that's gonna last you. Just Jacob's trouble, you're just gonna die by the sword, and you're gonna die by terrible wild beasts, that the Most High have as spirits created for vengeance, according to Book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 39. But I'm getting that after this. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted and the city shall be cast down. Yeah, dead people it's gonna be so much dead bodies. Like, you're gonna be walking over dead bodies everywhere you go. You're gonna be going to building. Every building you go to, you may see a dead body. It's gonna be so disgusting. You're gonna see a lot of brain matter, mutilated bodies, amputated bodies all over the place. Yup, you're gonna see that. And it's gonna stink too, because dead bodies stink. It's not like in a movie where people could go and they see dead bodies and it's like, or cartoon or video game, and it's like, they're not smelling that smell. That dead body's gonna rot. And nobody's gonna be able to bury it because everybody's gonna try to be fending for themselves. Even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. Yeah, it's gonna be very few people in cities. And the Lord shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of women getting raped in those times. Yeah, and they're going to mourn because of that. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things, and understand them, ye servants of Adonai. Behold, the word of Adonai, receive it, believe not the gods of whom Adonai spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack. Yeah, and when he said, believe not the gods of whom, Adonai spake, it's like, our only God is Adonai Yahweh Yahweh Shai, you know, that's our only God. We're not supposed to believe in all these other false gods, because all these false doctrines, all these false philosophies that you've heard, it's all going to drop, because everybody's going to realize that the men of the Lord and the 1/3 of Israel is going to be the ones to be protected. I mean, some of them are going to go through the fire too, but it's like, depending on how much wickedness they've done. But if they repent, it's just like the Most High is going to send a certain amount of judgment, just to be kind of equal, that's how the Most High is. So, but he's only looking out for the 1/3 right now. The 2/3, y'all gonna really receive the worst side of the terror of the Most High, along with these heathens and these devils and heathens. And that's how it's gonna be. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. Yep, that's talking about human trafficking right there when it says take their children captives. For in captivity, and famine shall get their children. Shall they get children? Yep, they might eat the children. They might, they're gonna have to sell children for sex slaves and stuff like that. And food is gonna be, they're gonna have to sell children for food. That's how precious food will be, or some shit like that. Yeah, because it's gonna be a famine. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possession, and their own persons, the more I will be angry with them for the sin, saith the Adonai. So yeah, because you're stealing, and the Most High is against that now. So he's gonna really, like, and you're trying to comfort yourself with wickedness, he's gonna punish you even more with wickedness. So, like as a whore envieth a right honest and virtuous woman, yep, a whore, so shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face when he cometh, that shall defend him that diligently searcheth out every sin upon earth. For yet a little, and iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you. Okay. Let not the sinner say that he have not sinned, for Yahweh shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which saith before Adonai Yahweh and his glory, I have not sinned. Behold, the Lord knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts. So, yep, everything that you think of, Yahweh Bashim Yashar already thought of it. So, yeah. Let me just break it down. Let me just go quickly. Woe be unto them, 77. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof they're covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed, and it is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. And I think it was in Jeremiah. It was somewhere in Jeremiah where it was talking about. Let me see. Yeah, it says it right here too. Jeremiah 14 all the way down to 16. But let me start at 16. And the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword. They shall have none to bury them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour wickedness upon them. And it was somewhere in Jeremiah where it says that a man shall like travail as a woman. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all the faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And you see, and that shows you right there that basically, what you call it, yeah, Jacob's trouble is gonna have a lot of these men looking like bitches. So y'all gangster like thugs going out there, y'all fucking homosexual faggot looking thugs going out there acting like y'all sagging y'all pants, acting like, oh, y'all tough because y'all got a gun or y'all can fight with people. It don't matter how much muscle you have in this day. That's all carnal strength. All that don't mean shit. Having this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, this truth is gonna help you in these end times. Yep. As well as following the laws to the best of your ability. Yeah, that's gonna help you. But let me see. It was in Daniel, the 12th chapter. Start at verse 1. Yep. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was, since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book of life. And that's talking about the 1/3 is only written in that book of life. So, because a lot of people can't get this truth, and a lot of people are not going to understand it. That's how it is. 2/3 they have to die on this side. Because of all the shit that they put the men of the Lord through. And going into Jeremiah 30, when it's talking about basically how every man is going to be like a woman in that day. That any average man that doesn't have this truth, if he's not an Israelite or if he's a 2/3 devil or heathen, you're gonna be like a woman in that day. Because the Most High is gonna really send out some crazy judgment. He's gonna send out beasts to kill, spirits to really torture. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do, and he's gonna also send a lot of natural disasters. And it's all written in this book that he's gonna do these things. And I mean, he already has it all out there, but it's just gonna get worse and worse. And all you fucking women out there acting like y'all don't need a man, you really need a man of the Lord. You're gonna have to run to that man of the Lord, and you're gonna have to share him. according to Isaiah 4:1, where it says several women shall take hold of one man. But let me go into what you call it. And I'm telling you for right now, a lot of you women out here that's being the enemy of a man of the Lord, this is what's gonna happen to y'all. And it says it right here in Micah 7:10. Should have said that, talking about like you Eves, this is gonna be our judgment. Because Jacob's trouble is gonna be judgment for everyone. Men, women, and what you call it, yeah, even children too. So it says, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where's Adonai, thou Yahweh? Mine eyes shall behold her, now she shall be trodden as the mire of the streets. Yep, and that's gonna happen, especially in Jacob's trouble. It's gonna happen on a greater scale. But let me go into Ecclesiastes 8, and because y'all really think that y'all really think the Most High is not gonna really judge y'all because they don't come quick. But guess what? It's gonna come. Wait, I have it's the same chapter, but I have like another scripture that's gonna come, showing you how it works. When it's coming to judgment, because judgment happens pretty much every day. Different people, different times. But let me start at verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days are prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with him that fear Yahweh, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not Yahweh. Okay. And it says, let me see. Yeah, let me start at let me just read verse 14. It says, for Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Yep. And that's exactly what he's gonna do, He's gonna judge you people out there that's doing wickedness. He's gonna judge y'all. It may not be as fast as we want it to be, but guess what? Yahweh Bashim Shah, he knows when it's best to strike. And the time when he's gonna strike the most is when he's gonna do it during Jacob's trouble. And I already said that, but I'm gonna make it clear again. When wait, what the fuck? Oh, Slovakia for language. So let me start right here. The great day of Adonai is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of Adonai. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, and a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men. They shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Adonai, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Yup, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So I already said, like, it was like, I think mentioned like 3 times, like, in the scriptures that, and it's probably, and I know it's a lot more times it mentioned in scriptures that money ain't gonna save your ass. It's not. It's just not. I'm telling you just like how it is. I don't care. It's not gonna save you. And this is what the Most High have out there. For you scoffers and you fucking unbelievers. All these things are for good to godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in fury lay their sore on strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And Yahweh made them, yep, for a reason. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon the earth when need is, and their time is come. They shall not transgress his word. Exactly. Yep. And these beasts, they're really out here. They're just, and all these other spirits created for vengeance, they're out, they're just waiting to, they're waiting to, like, for the green light, you know. And during Jacob's trouble, you're going to see a lot of prisons getting, shut down. You're going to see a lot of people because, it's going to be an economic recession. You're going to see people not getting paid to do their job. It's going to basically be like that. Let me see the time. All right. It's going to basically be like that. And nobody's going to really care about the law no more because nobody's going to be put in the position to work because if the dollar collapse. Yep. And this could happen next year too. And y'all gotta have to repent because, if y'all hear this word, y'all better repent now and try to learn this truth to the best of your ability. Yeah, because this is no joke, you know? This is no joke. The Most High is really to kill, and he's ready to put niggas to death. Y'all better fucking understand that. You 2/3, y'all not, this truth, it ain't for you. But for you 1/3 out there, y'all just better wake up and understand this. Yeah, y'all better really wake up and understand this because once the Most High is, once he releases his judgment, it's over. And this is when he's gonna go full blown in Jacob's trouble. You're gonna see all the curses that he mentioned. It's gonna go full blown. Yep. And you woman out there, it says something about woman getting ravished. Wait. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the woman ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Yep. But pretty much, like, a lot of women are gonna get raped in these end times because a lot of y'all gonna get y'all judgment too for doing what y'all do with men, using your feminist power to abuse men. Y'all gonna get y'all judgment too. Yup. And this time you ain't gonna have no simps to save your ass too. It's just judgment upon judgment. That's what's gonna happen. And a lot of men, marauders, you're gonna have Satanists out there that's gonna come in as a group to get you women. And you men might have a spirit on them to, like, to find where you are. They just might remember. The spirit's gonna help them remember it and shit like that. Yep. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. No doubt about it. Alright. This is the last one. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and it shall drive him to his feet, according to verse 11. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. And that's talking about, like, well, the nation of Edom, pretty much. That this is going to be judgment upon them. And you other 2/3 and you heathens, y'all gonna really realize that the Most High is a terrible power, and y'all gonna realize that it's not no joke. The Most High ain't playing. And hope I made this lesson edifying. Let's give all praise to Adonai, Yahweh, Shalom.